Disney is synonymous with clean, family-friendly entertainment, evoking images of colorful characters and smiling children. But there's more to the House of Mouse than meets the eye. Most are familiar with the notorious mind control program known as MK Ultra, which later evolved into Project Monarch. But what is less known is the alleged role Disney movies and parks play in this nefarious program. Not only is Disney programming a staple of Monarch mind control, some victims even report being taken to Disney parks for programming. And a great number of Disney stars show signs of having been subjected to this form of total mind control.
And that's why people like Britney Spears and the Mouseketeers just went nuts.
MK Ultra mind control rules in Hollywood.
So what is Disney's connection to the intelligence agency? Is the CIA working in tandem with the Disney company to create mind-controlled celebrities? Find out as we investigate the dark side of Disney. Before we continue into the shadowy world of Disney mind control, I want to take a moment to thank Vikings War of Clans for sponsoring this video. This is a browser game where you can engage in exciting live battles with more than 20 million online gamers from around the world. You choose your own game style, command fierce armies and naval fleets, and ally with other players to build the most powerful clan this side of Valhalla. And the best part is, it's totally free. You can support this channel and even join me in the game by simply looking up my nickname, JMDocs. Follow the link in the description to get a bonus 200 coin, which will get you well on your way to growing your army. Vikings War of Clans is a great way to unwind, and after diving down the murky rabbit hole that is Disney, you might just need to. To produce the realistic alter personalities required for Monarch mind control, programmers need highly immersive, realistic fantasy worlds into which victims can dissociate. Two of the first movies they chose were Wizard of Oz and Disney's Alice in Wonderland, which had only recently came out at the time. By using common base programming scripts, the Illuminati could create thousands of Monarch slaves, all with similar triggers and alters. Today, most MK Ultra victims have some form of Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland programming. Disney's relationship with the government dates back to World War II, when the company was incorporated into the U.S. war machine, producing instructional videos and propaganda cartoons. Donald Duck starred in government-sponsored short films where he lambasted Hitler and the Nazis. And even helped get more Americans to pay income taxes. But just how deep does this relationship go? And did it ever really end? The connection begins with Walt Disney himself. Few know that Walt was actually working undercover for the FBI, reporting on suspected communist activities and anything else suspicious in Hollywood at the time. In 1954, Walt was promoted to Special Agent in Charge, which means other agents actually reported to him. Might Walt have also participated in the MK Ultra project that was going on at the same time, involving Hollywood stars such as Marilyn Monroe? While we can't know for certain, Walt seems to have been the type who would have been allowed into the CIA's inner circle. He is widely believed by alternative researchers to have been a Freemason. Some even claim of the 33rd degree. Walt was a member of Demolay, which is a youth feeder program into the Masons, and he created an exclusive club at Disneyland called Club 33, whose membership list reads like a who's who of the Hollywood elite. In her book, Transformation of America, Kathy O'Brien wrote of how she was repeatedly shown Disney movies and The Wizard of Oz as a child to condition her mind for the Monarch programming she was receiving.
The Wizard of Oz, from my point of view, was that over the rainbow and Kansas were these radically different places that had pretty much the same characters, but in a different form, one place or the other. And like my father would just be, whatever he was around the house. My father.
MK Ultra victims with Disney programming will often be obsessed with Disney.
Would be, and over the rainbow, it would be something completely different. It would be a different setting, a different projection of him that was perceived over here. So it's to somebody who's been severely traumatized, it makes illogical subconscious sense where it can be related to. And then you take something like follow the yellow brick road. You have to follow exactly where you're told to go in order to achieve whatever it is to arrive or to even get back home or whatever else. You have to do exactly what you're told.
This was no game. We had to read the maps and follow the directions that were encoded. We had our own language. It was cartoon character and Disney based. Then I read Kathy O'Brien's book and heard her testimony about how they delivered messages to each other that was cartoon and Disney based.
Because look at this badge. Charlotte, can you see this? Can you see this? Ursula from The Little Mermaid. Which you love this film?
Yeah, it's not a game for me at all.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No, you're talking about some very serious stuff.
Just like Marilyn Monroe, most if not all Playboy bunnies are MK Ultra sex kittens. This is especially true with former reality star Holly Madison. Her book titled Down the Rabbit Hole, about her life at the Playboy Mansion, is not only Alice in Wonderland themed, she appears in classic victim form, dressed as Alice, and displaying the Illuminati's sign of silence on the cover. Alternative researchers have long speculated that Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion was involved in high-level sex trafficking and honeypot blackmail operations. Madison now regularly posts pictures of her daughter Rainbow Aurora, probably named after Sleeping Beauty, doing numerous Disney-related activities, and dressing as Disney characters. She even took the newborn to Disney World and spent $15 grand on an exclusive Disney dining experience. This is a prime example of the hereditary nature of the Monarch program and its value in the entertainment industry. For those willing to do a bit of research, the connections between Disney, mind control, and the sex industry are all right in the open. In 1985, Disney produced what many consider to be one of the most disturbing movies the company has ever released, Return to Oz. Anyone familiar with MK Ultra themes will recognize what this movie is all about. Not only is it Wizard of Oz themed, which is a classic Monarch script, but it depicts the main character being electroshocked in a dingy mental asylum. Rather than colorful lollipops and munchkins, this film is set in a dark mental institute, and many of the scenes are terrifying to children. Return to Oz is all about a young girl being taken in to a psychiatric institute to be traumatized and programmed. It isn't difficult to see how films such as these are used as an MK Ultra programming tool. Peter Pan is another Disney film commonly reported by victims to be used as a Monarch programming script. Recall Michael Jackson's affinity for all things Peter Pan. Perhaps some of the strongest evidence for Disney's involvement in the secret Monarch program is the number of Disney-affiliated entertainers who seem to exhibit the signs and symptoms of trauma-based mind control, most notably public meltdowns and personality changes. Shia LaBeouf, who has gone on to show multiple signs of being a Monarch victim. He starred in a music video by artist Sia, which contained obvious MK Ultra symbolism, such as a giant bird cage. He has also had very public meltdowns. At one point, Disney's Mickey Mouse Club featured Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, and Ryan Gosling in the same cast. What are the odds that so many of the kids would go on to be household names? Victims programmed with Disney mind control often wear Mickey Mouse ears to signify their programming. Notice the shattered glass on the album cover of former Disney star Nick Jonas. Miley Cyrus is another Disney star who frequently displays mind control symbolism. Here she is in a bird cage, which is one of the most classic symbols used to identify members of the Monarch program. Disney is notorious for creating a hypersexualized image around its teen stars. Miley went on to shock the world with her lewd performance with Robin Thicke, who was wearing a classic MK Handler black and white outfit. Joe Jonas has spoken out about what it is really like to work for the Disney Corporation and describes them as, quote, controlling puppet masters. Disney's theme parks also play heavily into the MK Ultra conspiracy. Author Fritz Springmeier claims an enormous amount of programming takes place at Disneyland and World. Victims themselves, such as Kathy O'Brien, have reported being taken to Disney parks for programming. In fact, in her book Access Denied, she describes Disney World as an epicenter of MK Ultra programming. The highly detailed, immersive rides create the perfect environment to make the alternate worlds of their programming come alive for the victim.
I was taken to military bases, I was taken to Disneyland, and I was taken to NASA, and I was put into a lot of the equipment that they use on astronauts and that they have there.
Fiona Barnett reports virtual reality simulations being used in her programming while underground at Disney World, and describes elite parties taking place after hours at the park.
And then after that I was taken to Disney World on the way home, and I just remember they did a bit of MK Ultra programming there.
At Disney World?
Yes, Disneyland was actually built not just as a theme park, but as a part of the MK Ultra program. And they use it, when they close the park, they use it for pedophile parties and for MK Ultra programming. And see, the programming has lots of Disney themes in it. So, you know, Snow White and Tinkerbell and, you know, Alice in Wonderland and, you know, Wizard of Oz and all this sort of stuff. They're all used, these are the themes they use on children. And so when they play the movies, like Fantasia, you know, is a classic programming film, which, you know, kids like me hate. Brings back terrible memories of throwing up, etc. But all those programs, that's what they are, they're programs. So they only have to play those movies to us, or we only see something that reminds us in those movies, so we just have to see the outfit that Alice in Wonderland wore or whatever, and what it does is it reinforces the programming, and it reinforces those neural connections that they've created artificially, and keeps everything else, keeps the programming active. So it's like reinforces the trauma, reminds you of the trauma, it triggers you. That's what it's like if we see these reminders of being absolutely brutally tortured, then it sets us off, and it has the desired effect on our brain. So while I was there, I mean, I just remember Ted Turner raping me there. And there were other men there. I was very drugged though at different times. They drugged me and they put me in that horrible teacup ride and spun me, and then, you know, put me through that It's a Small World after all, you know, ride. That was horrible. And I was drugged and just vomiting, and they used hypnosis. Yeah, that's what I remember, and then, I don't know, I don't remember the trip home.
Like the caterpillar becoming the monarch butterfly, victims are told they can become a celebrity. This is sometimes true. The CIA uses MK Ultra victims in the entertainment industry as models, actors, and singers.
Yeah, Hollywood to me is really just has always been sort of a branch of the CIA, sort of the entertainment branch of the CIA. I think it's just been filled with, and you know, just laced with intelligence operations from day one, and mind control really kind of runs rampant in Hollywood among the, you know, musicians and the acting community. I think it's just everywhere.
Family to Disney parks has become a rite of passage. And as such, it's no wonder they've garnered their share of dark rumors and conspiracies over the years, involving everything from secret societies to child disappearances. But how much truth is there to these stories? Why was the CIA involved in helping obtain the land for Disney World? And what really goes on at the mysterious Club 33? Behind the immaculate landscapes, Stepford-esque employees, and an obsession with perfection hides a forbidden world where dark secrets and hidden fantasies collide.
You could almost say like the U.S. Constitution doesn't exist at Disney World.
In a place where dreams come true, you're bound to find a few nightmares. So strap yourselves in as we take a ride through the dark side of the happiest place on Earth and find out what Disney doesn't want you to know. Comprising nearly 30,000 acres, Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida is the largest theme park on the planet. But most people don't know that Disney obtained all that land with the help of none other than the CIA. In the early 60s, the people of Central Florida started becoming suspicious. Someone had been buying up large swaths of swampland in cash under various dummy or shell corporations. Locals had caught on, and speculation ran rampant about who the real company might be. Eventually, word got out that it was, in fact, Walt Disney who was purchasing the land, but not until most of it had already been bought up.
It was 1964, and something strange was going on in the central part of Florida. Large parcels of useless swampland near the tiny town of Orlando were being bought up, but nobody knew why, or by whom.
There was a lot of speculation in the Central Florida area as to who was purchasing that much land. Why would they be doing it?
Walt chose Orlando because it offered year-round good weather, easy access to major roads, and thousands of acres of land at only $180 an acre.
This financial coup was aided by the Central Intelligence Agency. America's premier spy agency not only helped Disney obtain the incredible amount of land required to build Disney World, they established 2 fake cities that would allow Disney to have total control of the local government.
You know, the Disney came to certain members of the CIA asking for help in essentially their land grab that took place in Florida. I mean, they literally bought this land for, I believe it was like under $200 an acre, like you know, it's an acre or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like some ungodly low price.
How to establish phantom cities. He was teaching them how to use fake governments to control land use and to make sure that any public monies that came in from these towns went to Disney.
To basically do whatever Disney wanted. You know, all the taxes collected there would funnel their way back into Disney. They could kind of get away with anything they want. I mean, the way it's designed, you could almost say like the U.S. Constitution doesn't exist at Disney World.
Not in Lake Buena Vista.
This special legal status is not only unconstitutional, but allows the company to operate with almost total indemnity. In 2005, the chief of Florida's Bureau of Fair Rides Inspection admitted Disney's impunity when he said, quote, "We do not have the authority to shut down the park or close the rides." Never before or since has so much power been given away by the state of Florida. Why would the CIA help Disney secure the vast land it needed to build Disney World and ensure it had almost complete sovereignty from the state of Florida? Theorists can only speculate as to what benefits the intelligence community received from the deal. When your movements and whereabouts are constantly tracked, surveillance cameras equipped with facial recognition are on every corner, and the very thing tracking you also carries all of your money and information, you're either in a dystopian surveillance state ran by a fascist corporatocracy or the happiest place on earth. Disney now issues wristbands called Magic Bands that use RFID to track visitors wherever they venture in the park. Radio frequencies communicate with hidden beacons throughout the park, so Disney knows where you're going and where you've been. All money and guest info is also on the band. If that wasn't police state enough, Disney even has their own secret police in plainclothes uniforms who will quickly and quietly remove any suspected malcontents. Shoplift from one of the gift shops, and you'll end up in the happiest jail on Earth. Of course, Disney parks are far from a cashless society. They'll take your money any way they can get it. But they are demonstrating and testing the cashless concept envisioned by the elite. In fact, Epcot was founded as an experimental prototype community of tomorrow, basically the New World Order. Visitors wander from country to country, united by one government and one currency. Disney parks are all about magic, a theme that is reinforced wherever you go. But according to some researchers, not all the magic is fairy tales and pixie dust. Disney has been accused of practicing black magic as well. According to author and researcher Fritz Springmeier, Disneyland in Anaheim, California is used for rituals and other satanic activities after dark. Disneyland was built on the mysterious 33rd parallel. Locations that fall along the 33rd parallel hold special significance to Illuminati occultists, who believe it to be a powerful ley line. Author Walter Bosley contends that the location was chosen in part due to its proximity to this mysterious parallel. According to Bosley, the famous Disneyland carousel was actually built on the exact spot where two important occult ley lines intersect.
As far as the physical aspect of what I think Disneyland was designed to be, you're looking at the fact that there's these multiple lines, in this case 3, intersecting. What's interesting is that the fact that it's 3 simply means that on that point where they intersect, you have the potential of 3 times the energy to draw from that intersection. And the fact that of all places in the park, on that above that intersection of energy, they placed the carousel.
Disney Studios has never shied away from occult topics. Its movies routinely feature witches, magic, and various other occult themes. A popular song in Disney parks is When You Wish Upon a Star. Real occultists cast spells using the pentagram. Walt Disney has long been rumored to be a member of the Freemasons, which connects in with the Illuminati Satanist. Theorists have also suggested that the iconic Disney signature logo contains 3 hidden 6s. So is real black magic going on at the most magical place on Earth? I'll leave it up for you to decide and let me know in the comments. In Disneyland, hidden behind an unassuming door next to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, is an exclusive and highly secretive part of the park, Club 33. The opulent establishment is only available to those chosen to become members. The club's membership has a 10-year waiting list, and only the elite are selected. The membership fees are ridiculously expensive. The membership initiation fee is $25,000 to $50,000, with annual dues as high as $30,000. Rumor has it the name is a nod to the 33rd degree of Freemasonry, of which Walt Disney was allegedly a member. And notice the Masonic black and white checkerboard floors in the Club 33 dining room. The number 33 is a recurring motif throughout the building. It sits on 33 Club Royal Street. When it first opened, Disneyland originally had 33 sponsors. Knowing the importance this number plays in the Illuminati and particularly Freemasonry, I would say they were hiding something in plain sight. Pictures of the interior of the clandestine establishment look more like something out of a real-life haunted mansion. Officially, it's a restaurant and lounge, but one can't help but wonder what really takes place here, that so many movers and shakers are willing to wait a decade to get in and pay through the nose yearly. Supposedly, the facility is one of the only restaurants that connects directly to the underground corridors that traverse the park. It has long been rumored that numerous children go missing from Disney World and land each year. One source even claimed America's Most Wanted had an entire file of kidnapped children's cases pertaining just to Disneyland. A quick internet search will reveal no such cases exist. However, given Disney Corporation's notorious secrecy and power to scrub stories from the net, this doesn't mean it isn't happening. Adding to these allegations is the number of child predators routinely arrested working at Disneyland. 3 in 2014, then another just this past October.
We're talking about a pattern of theme park employees arrested in sex stings after work hours.
All of them arrested. All of them employees at Florida's Walt Disney World, known as the happiest place on earth.
I work around kids all the time at Disney.
Still, it's hard to imagine Disney allowing child abduction in their parks, if for no other reason than the negative publicity. Like no other company, Disney has staked its reputation on being wholesome, family-friendly entertainment. And maybe it's precisely because of the company's obsession with maintaining a pristine image that it arouses suspicion. Is there a darker underbelly to all the magic? In a land where nothing's really real, how much of the truth remains to be found? I'll leave that up for you to decide, and